Good morning, friends. This morning session is dedicated to class 12. The pre board exam is just knocking at the door, and the children are busy preparing for their pre board and board exams. And yesterday, also, the date sheet has come for board exam. The conduct of board exam for 10 and 12. It is very close, it is knocking at the door of the examinees. So every day I have been revising some lesson or the other just for enlightening their preparation. Today I'm just going to have a small discussion on class 12 Keeping Quiet by Pablo Neruda. The poet Pablo Neruda has emphasized the importance of introspection. He talks about the need of keeping silence for some time. Man has become so selfish and mean-minded. His own actions harm him and cause him many miseries. He the world today stands divided due to man-made boundaries of caste, creed, religion, language, nationalism, and many other geographical boundaries. The poet talks about the need of creating mutual understanding among human beings, because then only our bond of friendship or bond of humanity will get stronger. In the very first stanza, the poet says, "Now we will count to 12 and will all keep still. For once on the face of the earth, let's not speak in any language. Let's stop for 1 second and not move our arms so much." Here, the poet urges each one of us to keep quiet, not to speak any language, and count up to 12. The poet might have used the word count up to 12 in order to emphasize the fact that there are 12 hours on the clock and there are 12 months in a year. So the poet just urges us and makes an appeal to us to keep quiet as long as we can, because in that quietness, in that moment of stillness, we will not speak any language, and he wants that we should completely be silent, so that there will be silence all around of us. No language will be spoken, no harsh words will be used. So in this way, there will be no language, no barrier of, barrier between man and man, and no harsh words will be spoken. In this moment of silence, the poet does not want us to move our arms. We will have complete peace and we will be completely motionless. The second stanza said, "It would be an exotic moment without rush, without engines. We should all be together in a sudden strangeness." The poet feels that such a moment of silence, such a moment of stillness would be just an unusual one, but an exotic one, but an exciting one. Why? Because it will have a miraculous impact on us. There will be no hurry of the machines to pollute the atmosphere. It will be a strange and unfamiliar stillness around us. This unusual stillness will help us strengthen our bond of humanity, and it will develop mutual understanding among human beings. The poet thus emphasizes the need of keeping silence so that we can go for an introspection. The huge silence which will arise from that moment will only serve to help the people. It will help them introspect and overcome their sadness of failing to understand themselves. And last question that is very important. This is a board question, all India board questions. And that is a very important question. Yeah, here is the question. Yes, what will possibly be the effect of keeping quiet, or how, according to Pablo Neruda, on keeping quiet change our attitude of life? Keeping quiet will help us to introspect on our destructive actions like waging war or harming the environment. They will give us better idea of the consequences of the actions that will change our attitude. So the poet says that when we will have quietness, we will have no actions at all, we will not perform any action. That moment will provide us time to go for examining our actions, and then it will help us, retrieve peace of mind, and it will also go for introspecting our actions. That will give us a better idea of consequences of our actions, and that will change our attitude also. And this is the last question. Life is what it is all about. How is keeping quiet related to life? Keeping quiet does not mean complete inactivity, but stillness and quietness to introspect on what we are doing, that is essential. To stopping, or this means stopping our normal day to day activities to reflect on our action. It is very important that we should reflect on our action. We must think about what we are doing, whether we are doing it for the sake of the humanity, or whether our actions harm us and put us in trouble. So there is a need to reflect on our action and see what we have done, whether it is good for humanity or bad for humanity. Thus, it is related to life, although this may not be completely inactivity. Stopping for some moment, it doesn't mean we will come to a halt or inactivity. It will just provide us an exotic moment when we will have an introspection of our actions, and we will reflect on our past activities and present activities, just to have peace of mind, because this will develop mutual understanding among human beings, and that is the need of the hour. That's the need of the moment. That's the need of the call. Thank you. Have a nice day ahead.